Today, I want to do something we haven't done on the show in a while. I have a little presentation for you. We used to do these on the old season. Today, we're going to be talking about Hotel Charlie's top 10 women's sports. That's right. We're going to analyze women's sports and talk about my favorites because I am Hotel Charlie. I'm the producer. I'm the host. I'm the editor. I'm the uploader. Anyway. A lot of you might watch this show and see the jokes I make and think, there's no way this is just an exaggeration or a character or anything. This guy's probably actually sexist. He's probably actually misogynist. He probably actually hates trailer parks. He probably hates poor people. He probably loves Trump. Well, here, I'm going to show you that I'm not any of those things. I want to prove to you that I love women. And to prove that, I'm going to show you my favorite women's sport. First of all, number 10, we have basketball. You know these people, you know these women. This is, of course, Brittany Griner. She was the one in the news a couple years ago with the whole, she got screwed over at Russia with a little bit of pot. Who cares? Big whoop. We hate Russia. So let's get her back on the basketball team, everybody, right? She plays for the Mercury, or she did. This, of course, is Caitlin Clark, the biggest hot shot in the WNBA. We have other names here. Angel Reese, of course. Now, the WNBA, what I like about them is that they don't give up. They get a lot of heat. They get a lot of pressure from people online saying, hey, WNBA stinks. It's not like real basketball. You're subsidized by the NBA. It's a charity event. No. Women's basketball is interesting to watch. Look, I get it. Look, I'll certainly admit some faults with it. It would be more entertaining to see more women be able to dunk the ball. Maybe they should lower the hoops. Maybe they shouldn't. That's a question of equality. Is it offensive to say we should lower the hoops and have more women dunk? I don't know. I like it the way it is. I like watching the New York Liberty or the team from the Indiana team. And, of course, the rules of basketball are the players must get the ball in the hoop to score points. We all know this, but that's why number 10 is basketball. Before we get to number 9, I just want to clarify, this might make it seem like this is my least favorite sport. It's not. I have 100 favorite women's sports. These are the top 10. So number 10 is basketball. Whoops. Number 9 is soccer. Now, I'm posting a lot of pictures of American women, but of course, this isn't limited to America. Soccer is a universal sport. It's one of the most popular sports in not only America, but the world. Of course, here's Megan Rapinoe. This is Hope Solo. She's the American goalie. These women have won a lot of medals. They have, here, I wrote it down, they have tons of wins, which is why I like this team so much. I grew up with older siblings, older sisters who played soccer, and I was always entertained because all those players in high school had younger brothers my age. So anytime I got to go to a girls' soccer game, I got to ditch the game and hang out with my friends up by the high school where older kids hung out. So soccer holds a special place in my heart. And of course, the rules for soccer are players must get ball in net to score points. The thing that scares me, I shouldn't have said I like it, I'm kind of afraid of it, is these gloves, Hope Solo's gloves here. They make her hands look so large. I'm afraid that if she took those off, that's the size of her hand. But I'm pretty sure that that's just an illusion with the equipment. Number 8 is college softball. Now, you might be thinking, well, softball is a women's sport. You know, there's some guys in a grown-up age who might work at a grocery store or have a league where they play softball, but we all know that softball is for girls, for women, and not like, oh, softball's for girls. I'm saying like, no, hey, softball, leave that to the girls. That's more what I'm saying. Like, that's for girls, dude. Don't be 50 and play softball because you think it's easy. That's sexist. It's for women. And look at these women. They're strong. This is fresh Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners, the women's softball team. This is fresh off their win in the World Series, the Women's Softball College World Series. And we'll see right here. And the rules of college softball are the players must hit ball to score points, and they must, I don't know if this means that the bases are round or that they have to round the bases. I think what I was implying here is that the players must round the bases in order to score points. That's another way to score points on the softball field. But I'm a big fan of women's softball. I had a lot of friends in high school who grew up playing softball, and it holds a special place in my heart, women's softball. And that's why women's softball is number 8. Number 7, I couldn't I wouldn't be able to make a list without this woman right here. This is Florence Griffith Joyner. She is, as Wikipedia would tell you, the fastest woman in the world, which is incredible. It's an incredible feat to be known as the fastest woman in the world, and that's why we're congratulating her with her own page. She ran the 100-meter dash in record time, and this is a picture of her right here. And this is the starting pistol, like, hey, on your mark, get set, go. But even, who cares? By the time that firing pin hit that bullet, she was already at the finish line, basically. That's how fast she was, which is impressive to me. And the rules of track 100-meter dash are the players must run fastest to score points. And that's why Florence Griffith Joyner is number 7, basically all by herself, because she's the fastest woman. So that's impressive to me. Number 6 is volleyball. You, of course, have the line ref and the libero. I can't point like this. And the rules of volleyball, let's just get this out of the way. Players must keep, you all know volleyball. You guys ever play don't touch the ground, don't let it touch the ground with a balloon, an old balloon after a birthday party, and you'd use your hands to keep it up in the air when there's nothing else to do at a birthday party? You guys know the game. Well, someone decided to take that and turn it into an Olympic sport, and here is a team right here with women's volleyball. And this holds a special place in my heart. I've always had a passion for women's volleyball, and this is why they're number 6. I like the cut of this lady's jib also. I like that she's dressed kind of, I actually don't really know how to describe how she's dressed. It's just an odd choice. Just black pants, white shirt. I like her glasses, though. I like the cut of that lady's jib. And that's why women's volleyball is number 6. You'll notice, by the way, that none of the titles here have the word women's volleyball in front of them. Again, because I'm not sexist. Because to me, this is just volleyball. It'd be offensive, and I should bite my tongue every time I accidentally, Freudian slip and say women's volleyball, as if there's a difference. This just happens to have women on the team. This is a college team right here. Of course, a nice group of gals there. I don't think in the game every player's allowed to have a ball. That's one thing that kind of confuses me about this picture. I'm pretty sure that there's only one ball on the court allowed at a time. That might just be a photo thing. But that's why volleyball is number 6 on this list. Number 5, now this one kind of comes out of left field. This is where I get a little biased. I've always loved ping pong. When I grew up, my grandfather had a ping pong table, and he and I would spend countless days hitting that paddle across the board. Table tennis, as it's called, and ping pong colloquially, we all know. And the rule of this, of course, is that players must hit the ball with paddle to score points. This is a woman here. I don't know if Christian Martinez must be the photographer. That's what it says there. This is a young woman, I believe, is an Olympic athlete, hitting the ball. The point of it is you hit the ball onto the other side of the net. It's basically tennis, but on a table. Think about it like that. I guess the guy that named it kind of already did all the hard stuff. He came up with a perfect name. But you all know table tennis, right? You played it on Wii Sports. Table tennis is number 5 on this list. Hello? Oh, I forgot. Other features of this game include a net. Here we go. Number 4 is beach volleyball. Now, I said earlier I appreciate volleyball. That was number 6 on my list. But beach volleyball is a little different than regular volleyball because this game only has... This game only has 2 people, and it's 2v2, and you're playing on a beach instead of in a gym. But this is an Olympic-level sport. See, like right here, like regular volleyball, but on sand. And then if you want to remember, see regular volleyball is on slide 6, if you guys want to rewind if you forgot the rules. But this is, of course, a women's team volleyball, and... women's volleyball is women's beach volleyball. Sorry, not women's volleyball. Sorry. Beach volleyball is number 4 on the Hotel Charlie list of best top 10 female sports. Number 3 is the UFC. Now, I've been doing a lot of team sports, but I really get a kick, no pun intended, out of, single, one-on-one sports. That's why I like ping pong. Table tennis. That's why I like the UFC, because people like Amanda Nunes come in there and they're the whole team. Yeah, they've got a manager. Yeah, they've got a guy, spraying a bendy straw water bottle in her face during the fight, putting Vaseline over her cut so her fucking head doesn't fall open. Sure, there's a couple people involved, but Amanda Nunes is the heart and soul of the Amanda Nunes team. And I like seeing her kick the shit out of another lady. Not that I like seeing women get hurt, but it's a Sophie's choice with watching women's UFC. I'll acknowledge it. I shouldn't say women's UFC, just regular UFC. Because, yes, unfortunately, there is a woman getting the crap beaten out of her, but there's also a woman winning, which is tough. I don't know whether to, be sad or be happy for the women or the other woman. This is, of course, another UFC fighter. She's holding the championship belt. And the rules for this game are simple. Players must hit and attack opponents to score points. They do a couple rounds of this, a couple 5-minute rounds, and by the end of it, whoever has the most points goes home with this belt right here. Number 2 for the Hotel Charlie women's sports is mud wrestling. Now, I didn't say all these were going to be Olympic sports, but wrestling is a sport. We wouldn't deny it, and we're big fans of when a woman goes onto the men's wrestling team. That's always something cool to see. You're always like, hey, you know what? I'm proud of her. It's cool to see a woman do that. It's like when you see a girl be the punter on a football team. It's always kind of like, yeah, maybe at first you go, whoa, get her off the field. Who does she think she is? But then you take a step back and you go, what? You know what? She's actually not so bad, huh? So then you're thinking this, right? I know what your first instinct is when you think of mud wrestling. You're going, women wrestling? Oh, geez, that's for men only. Well, guess what? You're sexist, because when you add a little mud or maybe even KY jelly, some power lubricant here, and a baby pool, now all the men are all for it. But I'm not in it because of a sexual, weird, perverted thing where a man wants to watch a woman get covered in mud. I think that this is pure athleticism. This woman, sure, let's as much, you can't really make out a lot of her details of her body, but I can tell you just from looking at the screen, she doesn't have the athletic body that we all have come to be used to. We're all used to a slim 6-pack abs on a girl who's going to beat someone up, like Amanda Nunes, of course. Look at her. She's ripped. So then you get a real porker like this lady, and you go, she's not going to be athletic. And then you forget, there's sports like wrestling where having a major weight advantage over your opponent is actually very helpful. And then you get the mud involved, and it prevents the opponents from being able to, really straddle on or put her in a full Nelson. So, and it also kind of, handicaps her. Even though her weight is such an advantage because of her size, she's also handicapped because that mud's not just slippery for her opponent, it's slippery for her too. She's even got it in her teeth. It's hard to see there, but it's true. She's got it in her teeth. And that's why mud wrestling, or KY jelly wrestling, is number 2 on the Harrison Brinker Hotel Charlie list of women's sports. Yeah, you all know what comes after number 2, right? Number 1. Are you excited? Are you excited for number 1? Number 1, women's sport. There's one that we haven't named yet. So are you all excited? Make your votes in the comments below what number 1 women's sport is going to be. Ooh, should we do some sort of drum roll? This is the closest thing I have to a drum roll sound. Number 1 sport. As listed by Hotel Charlie, the number 1 women's sport is bikini car wash, everybody. That's right, the bikini car wash. You have ladies in scantily clad clothes. Maybe they're wearing bikinis. Maybe they're wearing short shorts. All I know is this lady's got a fireman hose, and I'm burning up. All right, so she's going to grab this sponge. She's going to make it all sudsy. There's my car over there. I just pull in. I go, ladies, I just came back from a mud wrestling tournament. I need a real fixer-upper on this Honda Sonata. And then you go, oh, we got you. It'll be a couple bucks. Sure, you got to give them a couple bucks. That's you buying the ticket. And the women are working out. They're working out not just the dirt and the grime in your car, but they're also doing stretches, and they're also reaching over places, and they're extending their muscles to reach into hard to reach places. So it certainly takes it. Look at the shape these women are in. If that doesn't look like an athletic bod to you, then you're just sorely mistaken, sir. You're Trace McSorley mistaken. I shouldn't have even said Trace McSorley's name. We should only be talking about female athletes on this episode, in this segment. But that's why bikini car wash, to me, is the number one female sport, because it goes under the radar. It's underrated. Not a lot of people would think about that in even an athletic way, or maybe even think about doing it at all. But I say, you know what, ladies, your sorority needs to save some money for some sort of cancer benefit. I'm your guy. I've got one car. I will drive it through the plateaus of Nevada if it means you guys get to save a little kid's life. And sure, maybe I'll get to have a little fun too. So everybody wins, basically, which is why I think bikini car wash is the number one sport, because unlike any other sport, even the audience gets a win. So that's fun. And that's Harrison Brinker. We should have had this. I should have remade this. That's why those are my 10 top women's sports. Thank you, everybody, for joining that segment. We'll be back in just a sec.